Hey everybody, it's me here again. As you can see, there's a computer in front of you and you have no clue what it is because it doesn't have a faceplate, side panel, or anything else. I'm sorry I sound a little weird right now. I just woke up. And I know for a fact that I have to start this video early because this process takes hours and hours and hours. What I'm going to be doing today is getting a factory reset image on this Compaq Presario SR1010NX. It already has a factory restore image on the disk, but I'm doing a little bit of experimentation today, and I want to see if the factory restore image can fully restore even if there's no Windows partition there. Reason being is there's some residual data left over that I would like to not be there. Specifically programs and some leftover documents from the prior install, and I'd like to see if I can just wipe out the entirety of the Windows installation, put a clean NTFS partition there, and away with the reset. But what I need to do first is I need to back up both the data partition and the factory reset partition, because if this process fails, I'd rather have something to go back on than not have something to go back on. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to get the drive out of this, which is completely simple since I have everything off already. I'm going to put it in that computer down there, and I'm going to back up both the partitions to that disk, to that one's disk right there. So I'm going to go ahead and get the drive out, and I'll get that process started. Okay, so I've got the stuff in there, and I'm ready to power on. Drive's on the bottom there, sitting on top of the power supply, with the three other drives atop it. Reason for that is so it'll hold it down, provide some thermal contact with the power supply. Doesn't release that much heat, so I'm not worried about it overheating the power supply. And I also made sure the drive does not touch the PCB, because that would be a terminal problem. So here we go. Now the first thing I gotta make sure is I don't have it doesn't set the boot device to be the first boot device, because that'll be a problem. And it didn't, so we're good. Be back when we're in the operating system. So here we are in the operating system. This is really just going to be as simple as back up both the partitions, delete the primary NTFS partition on the disk, and then throw it back in the computer and see if we can factory reset. Not going to delete the factory reset partition, however, because obviously deleting that partition would result in the inability to do a full reset from that. So let me go ahead and back that crap up. Okay, so here we are. Both of the partitions are backed up. As you can see here, there are two partitions. One's called Presario and the other one called Presario_RP. Probably RP stands for restore partition or reset partition, but anyway, what I'm here to do is I'm here to go ahead and just quick format the partition, the main partition here, and see if it'll work. If it doesn't, then I'll just restore from backup, and I'll just remove everything. I'll remove everything in the program files folder. I'll remove everything in the documents and settings folder. So yeah, anyway, format. Just doing a quick format because I don't really care. Alright, there we go. We now have 33 gigs free of 33.1 gigs. So we can now begin the process of factory resetting Windows XP. So I'm going to go ahead and shut this down, get the drive popped back in, and I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so I've got the stuff in there, and I'm ready to power on. Drive's on the bottom there, sitting on top of the power supply, with the three other drives atop it. Reason for that is so it'll hold it down, provide some thermal contact with the power supply. Doesn't release that much heat, so I'm not worried about it overheating the power supply. And I also made sure the drive does not touch the PCB, because that would be a terminal problem. So here we go. Now the first thing I gotta make sure is I don't have it doesn't set the boot device to be the first boot device, because that'll be a problem. And it didn't, so we're good. Be back when we're in the operating system. So here we are in the operating system. This is really just going to be as simple as back up both the partitions, delete the primary NTFS partition on the disk, and then throw it back in the computer and see if we can factory reset. Not going to delete the factory reset partition, however, because obviously deleting that partition would result in the inability to do a full reset from that. So let me go ahead and back that crap up. Okay, so here we are. Both of the partitions are backed up. As you can see here, there are two partitions. One's called Presario and the other one called Presario_RP. Probably RP stands for restore partition or reset partition, but anyway, what I'm here to do is I'm here to go ahead and just quick format the partition, the main partition here, and see if it'll work. If it doesn't, then I'll just restore from backup, and I'll just remove everything. Like, I'll remove everything in the program files folder. I'll remove everything in the documents and settings folder. So yeah, anyway, format. Just doing a quick format because I don't really care. Alright, there we go. We now have 33 gigs free of 33.1 gigs. So we can now begin the process of factory resetting Windows XP. So I'm going to go ahead and shut this down, get the drive popped back in, and I'll be back in a minute. Alright, so we got everything back in place, and you can see there's a fan here to blow onto the hard drive, because it does get quite hot doing all of these running stuffs. But one thing I did off camera was I gave this thing a little bit of a blowout, because I kind of needed it. So anyway, here we go. Power's on. Main power anyway. Get my finger into the power button. Hopefully not get shredded by the fan. There we go. Alright. Now, need to go ahead and spam F10. See if we can do this. Boot manager is missing. Okay, well, there's our answer, I suppose. No, you cannot delete the Windows partition and have it still work, apparently. Unless it's not booting off of the thing I think it's booting off of. Let me just go ahead and let it do anything. I'm not even going to press F10. Yeah, I guess it... Okay, well, let me try one more time with the F10. And if not, then we'll go to plan B. Yeah, plan B it is. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and put that partition back on, and I'll be back when I'm done with that. Okay, so I've got the partition restored, and one of the things I'm going to do is I'm just going to remove all the shit that's in here. Every single thing. I'm just going to go ahead and delete. Need permission? Okay, well I have permission, but whatever, I'll just skip all the ones that don't want to work. This is going to be multiple gigabytes worth of stuff, I'll tell you that right now. Well, I'll be back when this deletes, I guess, lol. Okay, so I've gotten rid of all the BS on this drive. I don't know how much it's freed, so let me see. It freed a little bit, but now what I need to see if I can do is actually even restore it like this, because it may need something there already, such as the program files to come to default on this thing to actually do anything. But let's try it anyway. Okay, so I've got it all set back up, so let's go ahead and try. I think I have this thing turned on. Find the power button. Yeah. Lovely. Alright, let's see if we can even boot. Probably still can't because some settings fucked up. Let's see. Do I smell success? I don't think it actually booted off of the thing. No, I don't think it booted into the recovery partition. Or maybe it did, I don't know. No, I don't think it really booted into the recovery partition. Let's try this again. Obviously it's not going to be happy with me for that, but let's just go ahead and try again. Okay, there we go, it entered setup. Quit fucking... This camera, I swear to God, come on. Alright, so it's... Yeah, it's alright. We'll go without saving, yes. Go ahead and remove that. F10. Stop! Garbage. It's not listening. Ow, fucker. I'm gonna go ahead and put in the PS2 keyboard, because this is just not working. Okay, so... Oh. Well, I was getting into one of the universal boot CD thingies that allows you to boot off of any partition. Here we are. I just want to boot into that. Can I boot into this? I just want to boot into this. Can I boot into this? Set active partition for AD and for no boot manager. That's not what I want to do. I just want to, like, boot. Space. Okay, so that should make that bootable. Let me see if that does it. Type UBCD to return to main menu. Okay, well, I don't want to, so let me just go ahead and Control-Delete and see if I can boot off of that now. That should be the only bootable partition. Wow, I wish this thing would focus. Like, geez, just because the screen goes black doesn't mean you need to unfocus. Like, please be intelligent. Stop booting off the CD. Okay, didn't even. Nope. Alright, so let me go ahead and figure around. Okay, so I figured out how to do it. You just have to rewrite the MBR. So I'm doing this the force my way in way by rewriting the MBR so that the Compaq recovery partition is the first partition on the disk. And from there, we're going to go ahead and restore. And probably, since we rewrote the MBR, it's going to have a little bit of an issue booting off of the main partition on the disk, which will just entail going back into the UBCD and rewriting the MBR so that the legitimate disk is the first disk. So there you go. Let's go ahead and next. Yes, I want to do a system recovery. As I've said, I already did this once, so I kind of already know what this is going to do. And I'll show you what it's going to do because it's interesting, but yeah, this will be interesting. Just wait for this thing to finish. You can see this is made by some external company called SoftThinks. I don't think they're in business anymore. This is version 5.0.42, and it's Compaq System Recovery by Compaq. I think HP had bought out Compaq by this point, so this is HP Compaq software, technically. But, still, it's Compaq Presario, Compaq System Recovery. So we're preparationing our hard drive. I'll be back when this finishes, I suppose. Okay, so here we are at the second step. You can see we've gone from hard disk preparation to copying files, and it is in fact copying files. Recovering Windows XP and application files. So, yeah, I think it does have its own set of application files that it dumps back onto the disk. So, hopefully this should work with minimal troubles, but I wouldn't count on it. And if it doesn't work, then I'm going to be wasting so much of my time. So much of my time. But anyway, I'll be back when this finishes on the next screen. Okay, so we've now moved on to the finalizing recovery /recovery finished portion of the film. As you can see, it's now just a blank window with the searching the computer or whatever icon. And now it's please wait. So this hopefully will actually reboot correctly, and we'll be good to go. I'll go back when this reboots. Hey, literally just as I shut the camera off, this come up. System recovery finished. Click on restart to restart the PC into user partition. So I'm gonna go ahead and restart. Let's see if it tries to reboot into the wrong partition. Let's see. Oh, I think it's rebooting into the correct partition. Come on, focus. Yes, it did reboot into the correct partition. You can't see it because this camera's garbage, but it says Windows XP Home Edition. Focus, you piece of trash. Come on, let's go. Focus, there's a keyboard right here. This thing is so stupid. I'll be back in a minute. Oh, never mind, there we go. If I aim at this screen for too long, it's just gonna unfocus, so I can't. Yeah, alright, here we go. Please wait while Windows prepares to start. Windows XP. So I'll be back when this gets off. And yeah, have a fun time with that. So now we are getting into the actual operating system part of this Windows XP tour. As you can see, we are starting up into the what would be post-install type thing of Windows XP, but it's slightly different because of the factory install nature of this thingy. So I'll show you what it's like when this is done, because it's very interesting and really different from a regular Windows XP install. So yeah, I'll be back in once this goes to the main screen. Okay, so here we are going into the normal setup-y bit. So it's welcome to Microsoft Windows, except it has the Compaq logo up in the top right. Welcome to Windows XP, blah 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 blah. Yes, the sound is working. I just say yes to that because I don't care. I don't have speakers plugged in. Something I can fix later if I need to. The time zone selection is a little different, but that might be because it's Windows XP Home Edition, not Professional. I'm not sure on that. You have to accept 2 EULAs, which is kind of obnoxious. I have to do 2 of them instead of 1. So pesky. So this takes a while to get past this because it's extremely slow, but alright, it's working. And it just seeked the floppy drive for some reason. I don't know why, it just decides to do that every once in a while. I'll be back once it gets to the next screen. I don't want to wait. So there we go, we're finally on the last screen here. It says, thank you, congratulations, you're ready to go. Thank you for purchasing a Compaq Presario PC. Whether emailing family and friends or surfing the internet, Presario takes you there easily and efficiently. To learn about the exciting new features of Windows XP, take the product tour. You may also find useful information in the Help and Support Center. These options are located on the Start menu. And this is actually not the last part, as you'll see in a minute here. Wow, these batteries are shit. It's gonna keep going. Okay, so it's finally, after about 15 to 20 minutes, moved off of the finish screen and has moved to this screen, which looks remarkably similar to the entrance screen, but is, although similar, is actually a different stage of the process. And it just went to this screen, and it says, please wait. It gives a timer. For the countdown, the screen will go blank for a minute. Do not turn off your PC during this one-time setup process. After the blank screen, the PC will restart. And from prior experience, this screen will never go blank. In fact, it'll go back to the prior screen after this is done. Stay there for another 15 or 20 minutes and then restart. So, yeah, are going to be a while. So here's what I was saying. It's done with that, and now it's onto the screen, so it should be here for a while. So it's gone to a blank screen now, and it's restarted. So, be back when this restarts. Thank you for not focusing, camera. Okay, so here we are at the welcome screen. Starting to get into the OS finally. It's again seeking the floppy drive. Like, oh my god. Here we go. Got the red screen. Got the red screen of death. This is not what we want. I'm just kidding, it's not a red screen of death. It's gonna get into the desktop here in a second. Okay, so here we are on the desktop, and these are all the default programs. I'm gonna raise the resolution real quick because it's absolutely tiny right now. If it'll go. It's really quite slow, probably because of the tiny hard drive and crappy processor, but here we go, I'm raising the res. There we go, and I'm going to keep that. And the first thing that you're greeted with is this: to access websites or email, you have to sign up for internet access. And it just has that little thing that goes away when you click on it. And that's this, and I don't need this, so I just go ahead and hit exit. And then it's like, okay. You hit exit again, and then it'll bring up something else. So it's probably an install script, which is this thing. Welcome, you can do stuff with your new Compaq. Did you know that? And then you hit finish, it has the Compaq logo, and then it opens Compaq Organize, which is the most absolutely useless program in the history of the universe. It's just a bloatware piece of sugar. But, yeah. Anyway. There it is. Compaq Organize. Look at that beautifulness. It's holy poop bad. But anyway, be right back. So now that we're in here, the first thing that needs to be investigated is missing shortcuts. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and test every single one of these. Oh, that's going to set up iTunes. Huh. Alright, well, I don't want to do that, so first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and not check for missing shortcuts. This is a missing shortcut. Go away. Alright, so what I need to do is get Windows XP Service Pack 3 installed. Wow, this is iTunes 4. I'll go ahead and install this anyway. No. And after we get this done, I'll show you what needs to be done. Okay, so we have that installed, and like I said, the first thing we need to do is get Windows XP Service Pack 3 installed. Show you why, because look at this. It just restarted, so it's a bit slow to load, but anyway, you should see the issue here. There we go. Alright. So you can see right there, Windows XP Service Pack 1, and that just can't do, so let's go ahead and throw ourselves a flash drive into this little slot right here. There we go, lovely. And now, within the year, we should be able to get this going. Be back when I have the file on the desktop and everything. Okay, so the Service Pack 3 offline installer is on the desktop, so we're just gonna go ahead and run this, and yeah, I'm gonna be back when this finishes because it takes a long time. Okay, so here we are, coming into Windows after installing Service Pack 3. Can get to work on doing updates and other miscellaneous things that'll get this thing up and running. So yeah, that'll happen in a minute. Alright, so here we go. The desktop is coming up and we're going to start the update process. Hopefully it'll check for updates right now and install them, because if it doesn't, then I'm going to be kind of irritated. I just opened that again. I don't know why I did that. Let me get into the task manager here. That's not the task manager. There we are. Boy, this thing is slow right now, but anyway, let's go ahead and empty this. Yeah, I guess I'll be back when the updates start. Alright, so the updating finished, and I can go ahead and restart Windows. Okay, one of the things I have to do to get this computer finalized is kind of install some software, because for whatever reason this computer becomes default with a super outdated version of Java and a super outdated version of Python. So I'm going to update both of those along with installing Chrome, which is an offline installer. Alright, Chrome's installed, so we're about to skip there. The rechargeable batteries that we have around the house are absolute trash, and all of my envelopes have come up missing, so yeah, that's kind of an issue with that, so I can't really do much about that. Windows XP is going to become unsupported. Yep, I know about it. So what I need to do really quick is I need to go into Programs and uninstall the default version of Java and the default version of Python that's on here, and then we can get to go and install that. So one of the things I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to Google. I'm going to go ahead and search up Java. And look at that. These batteries are already being reported as low after 50 seconds of having them in the camera. Like, that's how bad these rechargeable batteries are. Like, it's so horrible. So 8U73 is being installed here. Hopefully this will uninstall the old version of Java. And Java requires a newer version of Windows, but it'll still go anyway, like whatever. Wow, it's taking a while for that list to be populated. How's our CPU use looking? Pretty high, but acceptable. Alright, there we go. Java's opening up. I'm gonna go ahead and install that. It's gonna download the installer and install. In the meantime, still can't do anything. So I'll just be back when this Java happens or something else. Okay, so in summary, I got all of the stuff installed. I got Python installed, I got Java installed, and I changed the desktop background because the prior background is poopy. So now all I need to do is put this back together, and I'll have a nice factory install version of Windows XP Home Edition on the Compaq Presario SR1010NX. So thank you for joining me today, and if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. And if you didn't enjoy the video, then leave a dislike, and maybe leave a comment with some constructive criticism on what I can do better. So yeah, thanks, and I'm not waiting for this to shut down. Goodbye.